What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Crack House Podcast. My name is Mike O'Sullivan. With me today is a guy I met on Instagram. Not in that kind of way, but he's one of the
Grindr.
No, not Grindr. Yeah, we didn't meet on Grindr. He's a real funny dude. He puts out a lot of funny content, and his name is Keith Burr. Keith, what's up, brother?
Not much, man. How's it going?
Good, good. Now, for people that don't know this, Keith lives down in Eastern Kentucky, right, man?
Yeah.
All right. Keith, like I always ask everybody, give me your life story.
Oh, man. You heard of like trial by fire? I'm pretty sure that was my parents' approach to parenting. They were full believers in Darwinism. So, to learn how to swim, I got thrown into ponds.
Oh,
that's not child abuse where I'm from.
That's making a man out you.
Yeah, exactly. My father was a man's man, and I guess he wanted the same for me, even though I was, just a little white platinum blonde haired boy. Like I told you, it looked like the Harry Potter had been a Hitler Youth. I even had the round rim glasses. It was awful. So I figured, I want to hold some of these chicks' hands, like really bad. I was all about it. And so I tried to start being funny, and the shit worked. And I held so many hands so good. But now sixth graders and elementary school kids getting, it's wild. What was that? Yeah. Oh, I heard the dogs barking.
That's my dog, man.
Oh, man. It's pretty much, I guess, normal by my standards, but I don't want to get sick. Well, I guess the statute of limitations has already ran up for anybody to call CPS. I'm grown now.
Well, you look like you turned out all right.
Oh, yeah. This is preparation, partner.
Yeah.
I sell it.
That takes time. I like that shirt, man.
Hey, thank you. It is a woman's shirt.
It's 2020, man.
Exactly. It's unisex, and it's if I'm wearing it, it's just sex. So it's got Yoko Ono on it, and it's got John Lennon on it. I got it at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that place is pretty neat. They got expensive beer though.
Up in Ohio, right?
Yeah, is it Cleveland?
Yeah. Now, how far is that from you? From Kentucky?
Cleveland is about 3.5 hours? Probably closer to 4 hours. But went to a place a couple years ago on Lake Erie called Put in Bay. Made the mistake of taking a girlfriend with me. My uncle told me better. He said, "You never take sand to the beach."
That covers the entire country. Then I guess that phrase.
Yeah.
I've heard that plenty of times.
I thought that was some kind of like idiom or colloquialism that was just here. I like that. We got something in common. We have common ground now.
Already. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that plenty of times. Like, oh man, I went down to spring break and I brought my girlfriend or some stupid shit like that. Or I went to California on vacation with my girlfriend. The guys are just, why'd you bring sand to the beach, man? Or going to a club.
Good advice is universal.
Exactly.
Speaking of California, I probably wouldn't stand a chance out there. Like I was telling you before, I'm like a Kentucky 9 just because I have my teeth and I can put together a somewhat intelligible sentence. So people automatically, they're like, "Hey, oh shit, you want a job?" I interviewed with one of my friends at a shady car dealership down the road from here on 23. We interviewed as a team, like on Step Brothers, and they hired us, which should have been the first clue that this wasn't the best operation to be in. And we worked in the back in the garage, just washing cars, and that was fine. It was summertime. We were young, and they came out and they asked us, "I was like, you boys be interested in selling some vehicles for us?" Hell yeah. Well, it turns out I'm a pretty decent car salesman, but I'm gullible as hell because every time that I sold one, they said that they didn't make anything off of it. So I got zero commission. And so I quit after not working there for I worked there for about 7 to 8 months. My friend lasted longer, but I don't know. He went back to washing the cars, and everyone after we both left that was management got fired for embezzlement.
Oh,
So,
they were ripping the place off then. So that's why you didn't get anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have let us have the login sheet so that we could actually see what they'd paid for, like, per car. But I mean, I didn't care. I'd tell them I had a vehicle to show to somebody back home. It was about 45 miles away. They let me drive a brand new $60,000 truck home every time I wanted.
So you try to figure. So I guess something was up after that when you started figuring out, like, they're just letting me take whatever I want and do whatever I want.
Well, mostly what it was that let me know that it wasn't the best establishment to work for is the guy that was running around like a crackhead all the time, talking about how clean he was because he was just on Suboxone. I was like, yeah.
That's your first sign right there, man.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're real clean. That's why you're passing out in your lunch, huh, Chris?
Doing the old nod.
Oh, yeah, there's nodding beauty over there.
Now, this is how I know you're from a rural area. This is how I know. Anytime you mention roads and just say numbers, that means you're out in the sticks, man. Like I'll say the Grand Central Parkway, I'll say the Cross Bronx Expressway. You're like, nah, man, right down the road on 23, down the road a bit.
Down yon ways, just a hair, and then you'll come to a hay bale and you'll take a sharp right. That's how we give directions here. I mean, shit, my GPS has led me astray plenty of times, but I can ask an old dude on the side of the road and he'll tell me where to go every fucking time.
That's fucking, I liked, I've been to the South a few times. I think I've been to Kentucky once when I was like a teenager. We drove through it. We might've stayed over there one night. And I don't even really remember. I just know Kentucky's the bluegrass state. That's all I know about Kentucky.
I've never seen bluegrass once.
I don't know what the hell bluegrass is. I know it's a type of music.
It just has a blue hue.
A blue hue?
Yeah, when the light shines on it, it looks a little blue.
Like blue. Never mind. Like you balls after you leave a middle school date at the movie. It's the bluish hue. I don't know, man. I'm colorblind, so it all looks the same to me. Grass is grass. But you can't bring up Kentucky without bringing up horses or moonshine or bourbon or incest.
Trailer park.
Hey, we got the best trailer parks. We got some people's got 2-story trailers so they can look down on their neighbors.
What? Wait a minute. There's such a thing as a 2-story trailer?
If I lived in a trailer, there would be.
I know there's the double wide. I've heard of the double wide, but I never heard of the 2-story. That's why.
Yeah, I like, to be unique. Have you ever heard of the Red Green Show?
Red Green? No.
Oh, damn it. No, that misses every time. It was a Canadian, home improvement do-it-yourself show where they jerry-rig everything just in the most hillbilly ways. They'd make submersible vehicles that you could drive underwater and stuff with duct tape and Flex Seal and stuff like that. Well, my dad was just entranced by it and just thought that those were the coolest dudes in the world. So he bought a single wide trailer, full size, but I guess a full size trailer okay. So he hooked it to his truck and we owned a bunch of property and he pulled it to the top of the mountain there and we hooked it up to solar power. We had about 8 solar panels out to the outside and 2 bulldozer batteries that those would power during the day. And he named that place Possum Lodge after the main house on that television show. And that was one of the that's my childhood right there, doing shit like that and not ever thinking anything was up or weird or that he was a bit eccentric. It was just normal.
But see, that's up here is that's almost like the stereotype. We kind of think of guys out in hillbillies in the South. It's you guys are like hillbilly MacGyvers. Where you can just build any
ingenuity.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to church it up.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of churches, I mean, I can yell, and there are at least three Free Will Baptist churches that could hear me and answer back. Probably, they are everywhere out here. It is crazy. I've actually been to one of the churches. Have you heard of the ones that handle snakes?
I was just gonna ask you that. Have you ever been to a snake handling church down there?
I dated a girl whose daddy was the preacher at one.
Now, all right. Now, what is there? Is that like Is that like a shoot off from the Baptists? What is?
No, that is illegal.
It is. It's right. It's illegal to handle those snakes and own them and all that. It's like up in the mountains, right? Where they do it usually.
It was in between two mountains because everything's in between mountains here. Like there's a mountain here, to my back, and to my front. Pretty much, we just have little valleys carved out where we've got shitty paved roads, and I think every time a piece of the road breaks off or something, I mean they just put some hot patch it or something. They're like, fuck it, it's fine. It don't matter. Where we have so many semi trucks running on these little tiny roads, they just destroy them.
One good thing about it, we do learn how to drive.
Oh yeah, my friend said one good thing about it is you learn how to drive.
Well, that's why all you guys are in NASCAR, right?
That was moonshine.
Well, yeah, it started from the moonshine, right? And then you guys drive on. All right.
Look, necessity breeds innovation.
Yeah, exactly. I want to get back to the snake stuff.
Oh, I bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been to these ceremonies with the snake handlers?
Ceremony, singular.
Okay.
That was enough.
All right. Tell me what the hell that was like.
You ever seen snakes on a plane?
Yeah.
The motherfucking snakes in the motherfucking church. That's about what it was like. And I was thinking that I was going to get to see some firsthand Darwinism, but nope. No. I don't know I don't know if there's anything to it besides insanity and delusion, but these guys are not scared to hold these snakes. I mean, I'm not scared of a black snake or anything like that, but I'm not stupid either. I know what self-preservation is. I'm selfish.
Yeah, because I watched one documentary once about they were doing it up in the mountains in the south there, and the guy would just pull out 4 or 5 at a time, one in each hand, like what?
Yeah, I'm all jacked up on Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they make you do some brave stuff. I mean, it was one of the wildest things that I've seen, personally. But I mean, you've heard of the whole preacher's daughter stereotype.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a stereotype. There's no way to describe a preacher's daughter like a snake handling preacher's daughter. It was worth it.
Yeah. All right. All right. Good for you. Well, good for you. As long as
my girlfriend even laughed at that.
As long as she handled your snake properly, that's all that matters.
It's what would you call those little grub worms that you go fishing with, or like an acorn hiding in a bush?
Yeah. A frightened turtle.
That'd be a compliment. Thank you.
So, all right, you live in Kentucky. So, are you close to West Virginia?
Yeah, we're in Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia. Fort Gay is only about 25 to 30 minutes from here, but Huntington is only about 45 to 50. It's pretty close. I've been wanting to do some comedy there.
Marshall University considered it metropolitan tuition here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, we got the whole "We Are Marshall" thing is close enough that we can claim it as well.
Oh, are Marshall.
That
was the movie. Yeah, the movie, the plane crash, the school, right?
Yeah, Matthew. Was that Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, that's that Matthew McConaughey movie.
Before he started driving these Lincolns.
Yeah.
I love those. I hope that he's doing those as they're sarcastic to him, because I cannot take him seriously. Not at all. He looks like he's on heroin driving those things, like he's about to fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, he popped 2 Percocet and was like, "Are we ready, man?"
all right. I had to make these commercials because I got 2 DUIs. or they're coming and they want me to pay taxes. Fuck that.
So
But
now,
yeah, I'm pretty close to Huntington.
because now I watched the movie The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. It's one of my favorite documentaries of all time.
Yeah. We know those people. They are neighbors.
Okay, you actually know them.
I have met the dancing outlaw, Jesco.
You have met Jessica White.
Yes.
All right, this is an exclusive, Crack House exclusive. I want to hear the man who met Jessica White.
I'm kind of a big deal. No, he comes to this festival that we have in Pikeville, Kentucky, and it's called Hillbilly Days. True to its name, it wouldn't be without him, at least. I only spoke to him for a second, and the only thing that I could ask him was, what's huffing gas like? And he didn't actually articulate an answer. He more made an exclamation, just, woo! True to form. I was not disappointed. I thought he was a method actor, but no, this motherfucker's just wild. He does dance.
Yeah, he's got
poorly,
that.
But
yeah. Oh, he's getting up there, or it's taking its toll on him.
Oh, I don't think he was ever able to dance, but nobody told him. I mean, he's completely unaware.
Now, here's my thing: when you watch the documentary, there look like there's scenes where he's on his meds and off his meds. Am I right? Or
his meds meaning copious amounts of drugs versus none, or
yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell when he's having a good time versus when he's having a bad time. Because when he's having a bad time, he's talking about slicing his wife's throat for some slimy, sloppy egg.
Yeah.
I was like, whew, I don't think that would fly now.
And he's got that Charles Manson beard going through most of it. Then he decides to shave it off. And he gets then he gets a tattoo on his back, the Elvis and Manson tattoo. I
thought that was I cannot think of the guy's name. He does a voice for Squidbillies. He just retired not long ago. I can't think of it right now, but I thought that's who that tattoo was for. I know a guy that gets the best shitty tattoos. I mean, if I could, I'd give him a recommendation.
Really?
Oh yeah, everybody here is the tattoo artist. Like, you either come out of jail tattoo artist, or you get a GED around here. That's what I say. GEDs are for child stars and convicts.
If you went like an hour and a half outside of New York, with the way there's countryside like an hour and a half outside of New York City, like you wouldn't.
Yeah, they have that other places.
Yeah, but when everyone thinks of New York, that's what they think of. They just think of Manhattan, and they don't think of everything outside of it.
Oh yeah, it's a whole ass state. I guess a lot of people fail to realize that.
Yeah, people. Well, listen. Full disclosure: before we went on the air, Keith just keeps telling. I told Keith 3 times. I go, I live in Queens. He goes, yeah, man, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. It's the same thing. I'm like, no, it's not, man. There's 5 boroughs that make up New York City. You have Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, the Bronx, and Staten Island. But everyone just thinks about Manhattan.
So by boroughs, you mean some of them are just more underground than others?
No.
And New Jersey being on the bottom tier, closest to him.
Yeah, New Jersey's off the map, man. Well, actually, New Jersey's kind of like in our favor now because New Jersey just legalized weed.
Okay, yeah, more power to them.
So
hell yeah.
A lot of New Yorkers are going to be going over the bridge to.
I've got a couple buddies that live in Jersey. You might know one of them. He, on Instagram, his handle's Bearded Humor.
Yeah, I saw that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I've spoke to him a couple times and about appearing on his what is it called, Bearded Talk or Bearded Babble.
Yeah. And
I've had really good conversations with him. He's gave my shop a shout out at 606 Hemp. I just now started working at a hemp store in Kentucky.
All right. Now, weed is not legal in Kentucky, right?
The devil's lettuce, absolutely not. We're in the Bible Belt.
All right, so explain to my listeners what the hell hemp does. Like it seems like it's like Bud and Bud Light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the way I say it, the CBD is the active component in it, and that gives pain relief to a lot of people. And then there's also an analog of THC that we're allowed to sell called Delta 8 THC. So it's not actual THC that you're getting. And so that's the loopholes.
So it's like wait. So Delta 8 is like modified THC?
Yeah,
genetically modified kind of?
Yeah, it's the same. It's almost the same chemical compound with just maybe one little aspect of it taken out or changed or another added to it.
The molecular structure.
Yeah, to the molecular structure of it. And do you remember when spice was a big thing?
Yeah, that was actually kind of big here.
It was kind of big everywhere to my knowledge, but that's how they kept
yeah, spice, they just kept on like reworking the what was in it.
Yeah, they kept reworking the chemical structure of it, and so that it wasn't whenever they would be served a warrant saying that they're going to confiscate all of their material and all of their stuff and put them in jail. Like, see, man, that they'd say, okay, well, that's not what we have here. Look, this is a bit different than what you have, so you can't legally do this. So, I mean, you've got chemists out there that are working on this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's definitely a profitable industry. I mean, it's like it's not this, I don't know how to really describe it. I think a lot of the CBD is a placebo effect.
Yeah. I tried it once to see like a CBD gummy to help sleep, and it did nothing.
Yeah, it's like you're just trying to go to sleep regularly.
Yeah. And
well, with the Delta 8s, you can definitely tell a marked difference.
It'll help?
Yeah, it helps with anxiety and pain. If you have, like you said, insomnia or anything, it'll help you fall asleep. I ate some of them. Was that last night that I fell asleep like a drunk baby?
No, not before.
Oh, not before. I ate a couple the night before and fell asleep at 9 o'clock or at 9:30, which I probably have not fallen asleep that early since I was a kid.
Yeah, that is early. Jesus.
Right? I mean, it'd been dark for 5 hours already, but still, I can't stand these time changes, man. It kicks in the seasonal depression that already compounds on my regular depression.
Yeah, it is, man. It's tough now. Yeah, just 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's dark out. You got nothing. Yeah, it's like 5 o'clock. Yeah, you still got like 5-6 hours before you
like
ready
what time
to get to bed. And
11 o'clock? No, it's 5:30.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I hate that feeling. I feel obligated to stay up.
Yeah, I do.
See,
if I go to bed at 9:30, I'm probably gonna be up at 3 o'clock in the morning
without a damn thing to do.
Yeah, and then just stare at the TV.
Yeah, I usually go like stare into the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Until I just let that light shine over me. Or I'll read a little bit sometimes, and then I'll just hop onto Instagram or TikTok or something like that, or I'll write. I've been writing a lot since this quarantine shit's been going on.
Now, how's that quarantine been down there? Because like come here Monday, like everything's pretty much shut down in New York.
You wouldn't know that we had anything going on. I mean, people wear masks. Like for the most part, like I would say 90% of people to 95% of people like go by the mask rule or the mask mandate that you're supposed to wear them in public places and businesses. But, there's the select few outliers of the group that just don't give a shit. And I mean, nobody kicks them out for anything. So if nothing's said to them, they're going to continue on the same way they've been doing. Now, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of against the whole mask thing too, but I'm not that selfish.
Did you know anyone that got COVID?
I know one friend of mine, her name was Her name's Brittany, and she's the first person that I've known that has been affected by COVID or has had it. She posted some videos on her Instagram because I suppose that it takes your sense of smell away and taste completely. I watched her bite into an onion like an apple, and she's like, "Nope, nothing." And this is a normal girl. I mean, if you bite into an apple like I will bite into an onion like that, I would probably loosely consider you mildly psychopathic.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like a champion. Nothing happened. She didn't even grimace.
She did it all for science. Good for her.
Do it for the gram.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, how long have you been on like Instagram for?
Around 3 months now.
And now what put you on that? Did you just get into comedy the last 3 months ago, or you just been like working it and then decided to go on Instagram, or just to like open up your expand your following?
Trying to diversify my portfolio here.
Yeah.
Professionally speaking, I've always, used humor as like a coping mechanism or a crutch. So, I mean, and it's always worked pretty well for me. So it's like, there's a part in the Bo Burnham song. It's like, so people think you're funny. How do we get those people's money? And I was like, okay, if you're good at something, never do it for free is what my father told me. But he also said a bunch of dumb shit too. So you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been on Instagram for like 3 months now. I've had a lot of positive experiences on there. Been lucky with some of the people I've been able to come into contact with. Some of the conversations I've had, like earlier today, I was speaking with a guy that was from Paris that's wanting to come on to my podcast this week. And another voiceover artist that she lives in London. And she said that my voice would be good for voice work. And I'm like, I didn't know that they had like, the Beverly Hillbillies over in London. Like,
can you speak French?
Oh, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? C'est ça.
There you go. You got a job. You're hired.
Hey, I love language though. It's one of my nerdy things that I just enjoy because I hate math. So there's one universal language already out. So language and music are pretty much all I've got left. But especially like I've been trying to practice, impressions, and I've always done accents and stuff. Whenever I was doing telecommunications work. Oh, you still there?
I got you.
Yeah. I was working for my girlfriend's father for a bit and doing telecommunications work, climbing cell phone towers. And I've had one service station. All the ladies that work in there convinced that I was from Bulgaria until this day, still, because I've not been back to tell them any different. And they're like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "There is no work in Eastern Europe. In Russia, you work or you die or you move to Kentucky, need a pack of Pall been working on my Eastern Kentucky accent. How you doing?" And they're like, "Oh my God, that's so good." I'm like, "Thank you. I worked really hard on it." I don't know. That's the kind of shit that you have to do around here to just keep yourself entertained, which I'm great at, being an only child. I had to learn to keep myself company.
You got to keep yourself busy. I didn't even know there was an Eastern Kentucky accent.
Oh, is there? I thought that we all just sounded like we were talking from the inside of a banjo.
That's what it sounds like to us up here. We don't know any. But I'm sure. Like, listen, I know I sound like a garbage truck, but there are different type of accents too up here.
You sound like an extra from The Sopranos.
See, but that's like a Jersey accent. Those guys are like Jersey. There's a little bit of.
We up here in Jersey.
And then you got a Long Island accent where they talk like this.
Like Joe Pesci.
Well, Joe Pesci, that would be more like the Bronx, or
We're splitting hairs here now, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like saying You don't have the same accent really as a guy from South Carolina, right? It's a little,
no.
you know, see?
I've
That's
heard
what I'm
some
saying.
deep South Carolina accents, and it's almost I almost could not understand. Have you heard a legitimate like French Cajun accent from Louisiana?
I went to Louisiana last year, and we took one of, we did the tourist thing and took the airboat ride. And yeah, there was words that guy was saying on the boat. I just nodded like, mm-hmm.
It's like, whatever you say, partner. You kill
Yeah.
alligators for crocodiles for fun. I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah. You can dump me in this swamp and no one will ever find me.
Nope. I mean, I think about some like stuff like that sometimes. Wonder how many people that just went missing ended up just at the bottom of one of those swamps. Just like we've got areas around here that no one ever sees, but people get disappeared around here all the time. I don't think they necessarily went on vacation.
Yeah. Well, they have that like where, where like the New York Giants play. They play in New Jersey, right? They play out by this area called the Meadowlands, and it's all marshland. And that's where the mob used to dump all their bodies.
That's a deceiving name. That's like Kentucky, how we named some of our shitty places after nice places, like we're fooling anyone, like Paris, Kentucky, or London, Kentucky, or Versailles, or Versailles, if you want to pronounce the correct way. I mean, I would love to see somebody that got confused because they have a little mock-up in Paris of the Eiffel Tower. And I just want to see somebody like, oh, we made it, honey. Bonjour. Gets me a croissant. I would love that. I don't know. I've traveled the most distance probably was right next to the border of Canada. I worked in Montana for a while. And whenever I was going through South Dakota and stopped in Fargo just to take a picture next to the sign that says, "Welcome to Fargo."
Oh, for the movie? Yeah.
Yeah, they have a completely different accent than you guys on the East Coast, us in the South, people on the West Coast, in Texas. It is, oh yeah, don't you know? Like,
yeah,
oh yeah, don't you know now? They told me, one girl said, you don't have to put on that accent. And I'm like, trust me, I would drop it if I could. But I don't know, man. Working in Montana was crazy because I would travel back and forth between Sydney and a place called Williston, North Dakota. Can you imagine me being a roughneck?
Is that what you're doing? The oil, that's the oil guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have that anymore. We don't have that. I know what it is. The only reason I know what a roughneck is because I saw the movie Armageddon. That's what those guys were.
Say, there will be blood with
and there will be blood. That's the only reason I know the term roughneck.
I mean, whenever I tell people I'm gonna drink their milkshake, nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. Old Daniel Day-Lewis, he's a great actor. Might be a little bit insane, but I guess that's what it takes to put yourself into the mind of different people in every movie that you make. For that Lincoln movie, I believe, or there was one movie where he played a paraplegic and he would not get out of the wheelchair for the entire time that the movie was shooting.
Yeah, that was My Left Foot. That's the name of the movie.
Name.
That's the name of the movie, man. He won the Academy Award for that movie.
He wins for every movie he makes.
Yeah, he just does a movie like every 7-8 years, wins the Academy Award, and disappears.
Yeah, I mean, I can respect that for sure. I wonder what he's like in like person. Have you seen Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's like Kirk Lazarus, like Robert Downey Jr.'s character. It's like, oh, the characters are coming out, or the people are coming out. I love that, man. I don't think anybody else could have gotten away with doing blackface like that besides him. He said he still got some flack for it, but I mean, as long as he did it with no bad intentions.
Well, what? You got to remember too, like that movie came out right before woke. Like the woke movement wasn't. If that movie came out now, it wouldn't even made the theaters. That preview would have came out. People would have freaked.
I know who I am.
Yeah,
I'm the guy disguised as another dude playing another dude. I Oh man, there's a whole like 30-minute segment. It's like behind the music, except it follows him around as being Kirk Lazarus, his character in character. He's got this whole family held hostage and everything. It's amazing.
The movie, dude, that movie, yeah, the behind the scenes stuff and the movie is hilarious. But
I never imagined I'd see Tom Cruise like that.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, like people didn't know that was him at first.
I didn't know that it was for a good minute. I won't even like to admit how long it took me to realize that was him.
And I think they said too, like when they were filming that, they didn't want people to know it was him. I think at first he was going to go like uncredited or whatever, and then too many people found out it was him.
Yeah, sure. I can see him going uncredited.
Yeah.
I think the man is fueled by ego. I mean, well, what is that called? The tiny man complex. He's what, like 5'7"?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pocket sized. I mean, he got like the small dogs, you know. He's got to have the people. Got to have people watching him.
Smallest dog, biggest voice, right, man?
Yeah, man.
You know,
it's like if a Chihuahua was the size of a lion, we wouldn't be on the top of the food chain.
True. But he's also like crazy too, man. You ever see like those Scientology documentaries with him in it and everything? He's
hilarious,
dude. That guy's he's off his rocker a little bit, man. He's a
little.
He's fucking out there. Like
Mission Impossible would like the real Mission Impossible would being able to like psychoanalyze him truly, because he's such a good actor. I don't think that you could get past that. I think that he would just play whoever tried to. Any therapist he has, I don't know. Some actors, the best ones, they really, I guess, own the role. They really get into that character, like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. I thought that he deserved the Academy Awards for 10 movies before that, but I mean, he just had to get, fucked up by a bear and, eat it, sleep inside of it. Somebody told me that he got screwed by a bear, and I was like, no, not Gilbert. Like, hell, he should have won for that movie alone.
Yeah, that was a sick movie, man.
It was.
Yeah, cutting open the horse, sleeping. But that was like a ripoff of Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, we got to get inside the creature for warmth.
Yeah.
Family Guy did a spoof of that too. Something dark side. What does a Wookiee sound like? Brrr. That sounds like oh, shut up, me. You ever have to catch yourself before you say something dumb?
All the time.
I just say, shut up, self. It's not the time.
So now, let me ask you this. What do you do? What do you do for work down there, Keith?
I own some rental properties. I've been pretty fortunate. And my boss actually got a hold of me out of the blue. I had not met him before, and asked me if I'd be interested in coming and working at the shop there, because he saw my Instagram and thought that I might be able to help out his business's Instagram. So figured, why not? It's the most laid back job I've ever had. And I couldn't ask for a better boss, couldn't ask to work for better people. And, we sell stuff that I'm actually quite knowledgeable about, so that works too. Unlike most of the jobs I bullshitted my way into that I had no business being in.
Now, are you doing stand-up down there, or is everything closed down too?
We've never had a venue for stand-up in the first place. I have to travel every time that I wanted to get on stage or have a mic. So I just catch every open mic that I can at, bar and grills, or I want to go to Columbus and stay with a buddy down there and do some clubs there. I've got a guy that's in Florida. If I could remember his Instagram handle, I'd give him a shout out. It's Nathan something, but we can put that in the description later. He's been really nice to me. He's been doing stand-up comedy for 9 years now, and he's got a place there in Florida, and offered to put me and my girlfriend up and get me into some clubs there. So, like I said, I've had, I've been really fortunate and had great dealings with people. I've heard people say that they wish that they had my drive, or that I'm tenacious. And I'm like, no, you're mistaken. This is straight up desperation. It's like,
Well, dude, man, desperation and, trying your hardest is sometimes the same thing. You know what I'm saying, man?
yeah,
You're out there. Like, people that don't know Keith, follow Keith on Instagram, man. The guy is he's pumping out content constantly. He's
I
like
try to make sure it's quality.
he's like the industrial revolution of Instagram right now, man. He's got
Yeah.
he's got an assembly line going.
I was gonna say I'm the Henry Ford of memes.
Yes.
But yeah, I've picked up. I'll hit 1,800 followers tonight in 3 months' time.
Wow.
And whenever I started doing these podcasts, is because I saw people that I thought were a lot funnier than I am, and they've been at it a lot longer. They have thousands of posts, and here I am with just like barely over 100, and I'm lucky enough to be where I'm at. So why not try to shine some light on them? Because I mean, comedian to comedian, we have to try to help each other out. It's like I've told other people, the margins of success are so slim that we're really hurting ourselves if we don't try to help each other.
Yeah, man. Like comedy up here, this summer, man, they were doing comedy in like New York City parks. That's where it got to, because everything was just shut down. It was just like outdoor comedy everywhere.
Yeah, I've got a friend, Frank Castillo. He's a paid regular at the Comedy Store. He does stand up in alleyways and everywhere he gets a chance to. I mean, that's love for the craft.
Yeah.
I mean, just wanting to get out there. I mean, you have to exercise it too.
Yeah,
It's not like riding a bicycle.
Yeah, man. There was a club by my house I was going to, and it was all like decent name headliners going there. And they were doing it all for free mostly. They just wanted to get on stage and get 20 minutes and like you said, exercise the muscle.
Yeah, tighten up their material, polish it, see what works, because what works for one crowd isn't necessarily going to work for another one.
Yeah.
It's hard to find something that's universally funny. And it's almost impossible now with this woke culture that you brought up. I wish they'd just go back to sleep, man, to be honest. It was better off without them. Comedy was better. Nobody was walking around on eggshells.
Nah, man. You make one wrong joke now and, your career's over.
That's what I was telling another friend of mine. I said, it's not really us against each other as comedians. It's us against the audience. Their loyalties are the ones that are changing with the wind. If it's popular to not like you, then that's what a lot of people are going to go with.
Yeah. And the same way social media helps you, it kills you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get
I found that out with Twitter.
Yeah, you get that one woke asshole at your show, and that's it. And he's got 80,000 followers. Guess what? Keith Burr is a Nazi racist.
I say prove it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know what, man? They don't care. The damage is done. As long as they got it out there before you. So like they're ahead.
They don't deal in reason.
No.
I mean, it's pretty wild. Like, hell, I went against like 30 people on Twitter the other night. I got Twitter, and within 12 hours I had a ban, and it was because I said marriage was for suckers, and people took wild offense to that, and they were like telling me shit like, "Oh, well, just go die alone, you stupid narcissist," and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like it's coming from a happily married person, huh?"
It's true, man. Like I always say this now with this woke crowd. Listen, man, your grandfather who fought the Nazis isn't a Nazi. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it is, man. It's just they just like using those quick buzzwords, misogynist, Nazi, racist, and that's it, man. Look at Shane Gillis. That guy got one bit on his podcast. The guy had Saturday Night Live for like 3 days and got fired.
I believe that you can make a joke about anything.
Yeah.
And it's not up to me to cater to or spoon feed some of these people that go to a comedy show and get pissed off because they hear a comedian telling a joke. I mean, it's all about the intent. If you do it with malintent, yeah, and you're trying to hurt people's feelings, that's wrong. But if you're doing it trying to get a laugh, then, I mean, what else can you say about it? I mean, you know, it might be a bad joke, it might be in bad taste, but it was done with good intentions, you know, and you can work on it. So, for somebody that doesn't have anything to do with comedy, that, you know, maybe have a decent Instagram following, to ruin a comedian's career because they didn't like a set, that's childish as fuck to me.
Yeah, man. Listen, comedy's art, and art's subjective. That's it. You don't like it, then don't go see him again.
Exactly.
Or don't buy their, you know, don't download their material. Guy or girl, whatever, man.
I equate it to like if I were standing in my bathroom and I had to stand up on my toilet to look through my window, and I happen to see my neighbor undressing in their bathroom, and then I get pissed off at that because I was looking for it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like they're looking for a reason. That,
yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly, man. They're looking for a reason to be outraged.
Yeah, it's because outrage to them equals justification.
Yep.
And I can always tell who to disregard first in a crowd. Whoever's the loudest.
Yep.
I mean, you can do what?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I've done a couple, like while I was in college, I would do philosophical forums and psychological talks with my professors. And if they wanted to invite another student up, then we would have them. And you can tell who's invested in the conversation versus who isn't. And if someone's not paying attention, then I just no longer like try to talk to them or anything. I talk to the people that are actually engaged and are paying attention and listening to what I have to say. Not that I necessarily think that what I have to say is important, but I do know a few things, and I love philosophy. I was fortunate enough that I guess I was decent enough that my teacher or professor invited me up to speak with him as a peer. Damn, college was. I've been to college. Been a professional college student for years, pretty much, before this whole comedy thing. Like, even if I wasn't enrolled, I would write papers. I guess I can say that now. I'm not going to get anybody like academic probation or kicked out of school. But yeah, I would write papers and stuff, do a whole semester's worth of classes for people. And it was, whenever I started college, I had a dual scholarship. It was for academics and golf. I blew that all to pieces because I got into a fraternity at Morehead State. And apparently you cannot go to class whenever you're borderline alcohol poisoned every day.
No, that's not going to work out well, man.
I mean, I've seen some people manage, but not well. But just to let me loose out in the wild like that, whenever I was that young, oh man, I'm lucky to be here talking to you.
Well, I'm lucky to speak to you, Keith. And the time on the computer, and my computer's dying, so we're gonna start wrapping this up. Keith, once again, where can everyone find you, man? Because you gotta check this guy out.
On Instagram at Keith Burr, Burr, no relation to Bill .comedy. Yeah, KeithBurr.comedy. It's just a shortened version of my last name. My last name is Burchett, and I got tired of hearing bird shit. So I shortened it to Burr. And yeah, I think it sounds decent. I appreciate every follower I get. I still get excited for every one follower. If they're comedians, I usually try to touch base with them and ask them if there's anything that I can do to help them promote their stuff. Even if they've got a large following, I'll say, it's not much, but it's free.
That's it, man. Like you said, man, we got to help everyone out with podcasts, stand up, everything else.
Because for sure.
Right now, man, you got people in lockdown. People aren't doing anything. So.
Yeah. And today's my birthday. So thank you. I'll consider this the birthday gift from you.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
Hey, it's been better than a lot of them. I can't complain.
Well, I enjoyed having you. like I said, check out my man Keith Burr on Instagram. As always, you can check me out, Crack House Podcast, Crack House Pod on Twitter. And if you want to drop me a line, crackhousepodcast@gmail. My buddy I Can Paint, Irish Whisper, SOF Bad Monkey. Check all those people out. SOF Bad Monkey is Veterans for Veterans by Veterans podcast. My friend Paulie and the boys. So check them out. See you guys in a week. Bye-bye.